All right. Welcome, everyone, to Jimmy John's Field for a gorgeous Thursday evening game of baseball. We got the Eastside Diamond Hoppers going against the Utica Unicorns today, and it's going to be Donnie Murray on the mound for the Utica Unicorns and Matt Rogers on the mound for the Eastside Diamond Hoppers. And, Dan, it's going to be quite a matchup.
Yeah, it is. Last time these two teams faced, if you remember, that was a slugfest, and it was a long game.
Yeah, and what was the final? It was 17 to 15. Yeah,
yes.
It was the
USPBL day record.
Yeah,
highest scoring game.
The highest combined scoring game in USPBL history, breaking the one from last year was 22. At what was it? 31 or 32?
It was 32 this
15
time.
plus 17 is 32.
Hey,
See,
it's summertime.
I got my addition down. I still remember first grade math.
There you
All right.
go.
Yeah, like you said, last time they came out, 15 to 17, and then the time before that was 10 to 9. It was a walk-off, a home run from Nico Lolio.
Mm-hmm.
So these teams kind of have a little bit of a rivalry brewing here,
Yes.
especially because they're both the top two teams in the league. Unicorns won the last two games, Dan.
Mm-hmm.
So here we get an opportunity to see if the Hoppers have a chance to win a game against the Unicorns and try and break this losing streak against them.
Exactly.
Like I mentioned, Dan, Donnie Murray on the mound for the Utica Unicorns, and he's done very well this season so far.
Yes, he has. Yeah, I wouldn't blame him. I agree with you because, this is the guy you want on the mound, especially against this Diamond Hoppers team. Murray right now has 32 innings pitched, has 3 wins, no losses, 25 hits he only gave up, has 35 strikeouts. His ERA is 2.76, RIP is 1.04.
There's not much more you can ask from this guy. I'm looking at his stat line. Nothing on here is like I can't nitpick. He's like you said, he's got a 2.76 ERA with a 1.04 WHIP. He's been phenomenal for the Utica Unicorns so far. And on the other side of it, Matt Rogers does a fantastic job too. He's got a 3.66 ERA, so it's getting a little bit up there.
Yeah.
But overall, with a 1.12 WHIP, he's got 10 strikeouts and 12 hits across 19 innings pitched. The only thing you can really complain about is he's got 10 walks.
Mm-hmm.
But he doesn't allow that many hits, so it's going to be a good matchup, I feel.
It definitely will be, Brian.
But anyways, the starting lineups are about to start here, so we'll get to players of the game when we get back. Let's send it down to the field for the Unicorns and the Hoppers starting lineups.
Okay, ladies and gentlemen, it's time to bring on your home team for today's game, the Eastside Diamond Hoppers, managed by Paul Nochi. Joining the Hoppers on the field today are the baseball buddies, the Michigan Brewers. Leading off and batting first from the Dominican Republic, number 7, the second baseman, Ricky Castro, with Mitch Van Horlbeck and Jake Watson. Batting second from Lumberton, North Carolina, number 22, the left fielder, Chris Power, with Joey Clucka and Jacob Shaw. Batting third from Elmhurst, Illinois, number 12, the right fielder, John Mencken, with Nolan Hill and Trent McFarland. Batting fourth from Brooklyn, New York, number 21, the first baseman, Esteban Gomez, with Spencer Rainey and Carter Peterson. sixth from Toll House, California, number 5, the third baseman, Casey Chenoweth with Antonio Breeze and Case Peterson. Batting 7th from Nutley, New Jersey, number 24, the center fielder, John Kraft with Brian Klocka and Nate Van Horbeck. Batting 8th from Chicago, Illinois, number 20, the shortstop, Jeremy Scott with Brady Watson and David Rennie. Batting 9th from Tallahassee, Florida, number 4, the catcher, Kyle Figueroa with Jaden Hill and Jarrett Hill. And the starting pitcher tonight for the Eastside Diamond Hoppers from Clarkston, Michigan, number 11, Matt Rogers with Colin Hill. Ladies and gentlemen, please rise and remove your hats. Veterans and active military may keep your caps on while rendering the hand salute. As we honor America and our military with the singing of our national anthem, performed this evening by Madison Kamala. Great job, Madison. Let's give her a hand.
Welcome back, everyone. Brian Fisher and Dan Dilber with you here, just moments away from first pitch in this game between the Utica Unicorns and the Eastside Diamond Hoppers. And Utica Unicorns will be up to bat first as they are the away team today. So, Dan, would you like to go through their starting lineup?
I would like to, Brian. Batting first and playing shortstop, Brett Belkin. Batting second at DH is Chris Cruz. Batting third and at left, Colin Thacker. Batting fourth and at first, Taylor Gudakowski. Batting fifth, and in right, you have Brandon Raw. Batting sixth, and in center, you have Spencer Ibarra. Batting seventh, and at third base is Brandon Larkin Guilfoyle. Batting eighth, and at second, Luke Doyle. And batting ninth and behind the plate is Chris Allen. Defensively for the Hoppers, left field you have Chris Power. In center you have John Kraft. In right you have John Macon. At third you have Casey Chenoweth. At short you have Jeremy Scott. At second you have Ricky Castro. At first you have Esteban Gomez. Doing the catching behind the plate is Kyle Figueroa. And on the mound is Matt Rogers.
Yeah, Dan, we have some new names here
Yes,
on
we
the
do.
Unicorns lineup. Actually, we got, what, 3? We have Colin Thacker, Spencer Ibarra, and Chris Allen all making their debuts here with the Utica Unicorns.
Yeah.
And it's going to be interesting. I mean, that's a third of their lineup that is being swapped out with new guys, so it's going to be interesting to see what they can do. Clay Artizer, the notable one, not in the lineup. Him and Nico Lolio hitting all those bombs lately.
Yeah.
So it's going to be interesting to see what the Utica Unicorns can do with this change in lineup. So meanwhile, Brett Balkin, or the Stash as they call him, is going to walk in.
And I picked him as my player of the game for today.
Going down the Utica Unicorns lineup, they tend to swap righty and lefty every other at bat. Balkin's right-handed, Cruz is left-handed, Thacker's right-handed, Galikowski left, Raw right, Ibarra left, so on and so forth. You get the point. And it's definitely an interesting strategy to go about battling Matt Rogers like that.
And it's a beautiful evening here at Jimmy John's Field.
As that one's going to be inside for a ball. First pitch is 7:02 p.m. So a 90-degree day here at Jimmy John's Field, partly cloudy, and it's 1-0 on Brett Balkin.
It's still beautiful.
It's gorgeous out, and we have the fair down there, just right down the road here on Auburn Road. They actually closed part of the road off, and it just celebrating the 200-year anniversary of Utica. And you get to go to the fair beforehand, and you come to the game afterward.
Yeah.
I mean, it's like
That's the both worlds.
a complete game here, a complete day. It's 2-0 now on Balkin, as that one was a ball.
And the fair is all weekend long, so,
Another ball inside, 3-0.
go to fair during the day and
That's
come to a ball game at night.
That's that traveling fair that kind of roams around Michigan. It was in Troy. I went to it while I was in Troy last year.
Okay.
When I lived in Chesterfield, it's always at the Gibraltar Trade Center.
Yeah.
And that's how I remember. I always called it the Memorial Day Fair. Ooh, that one's going to be in for a strike, 3-1.
I didn't go this year. I usually go every year to that fair at Gibraltar. I think it's the same fair in Sterling Heights as well.
Yeah.
when they have
Oh,
it.
yep. You're right. So they just move around all Southeast Michigan, and maybe more. I'm not sure. As that he cuts and misses at that one, 3-2.
And how about Brett Balkin this season? Been
He's
lighting it up.
now the league leader in batting average.
426.
Yeah, he's been dominant at the plate so far. He only has 2 RBIs and no home runs. He just hits for contact a lot, and I mean a lot, as he fouls that one off. So it's going to remain 3-2. And just he's insanely good at getting base hits. It's almost unreal how good he is. He was not part of the ball game the last time these two teams met when it was a 17-15 blowout for the Unicorns. As that one's going to end up hitting him. So after battling in a 3-2 count, he gets hit by a pitch, and he's no stranger to that either. As I believe he was hit by a pitch back on Sunday when they played the Mammoths.
Yeah, I believe he was. Yep, Brian.
Trying to pull up those statistics right now. Yeah, back when last time he played, which was back on the 16th against the Mammoths, he went 3 for 5. He had 3 base hits, which propelled him to league leader in average. As that one's going to be called a strike. 0-1 now on Chris Cruz. Brett Balkin down there at first is also a threat on the base pad, so you're going to want to keep an eye on him. You're going to throw down a first. Balkin's going to get in fairly easy. He wasn't that far off the base at the moment. Chris Cruz is a lefty, playing the DH today. Comes the 0-1. Swung on, miss. Huge cut there by Chris Cruz, but was underneath it. 0-2 now. 91-mile-an-hour fastball from Matt Rogers was just able to beat Chris Cruz fair and square. He couldn't catch up with that one.
Last time these two teams faced, which was that big one slugfest, he went 3 for 4, had 2 home runs and 5 RBIs.
He had a fantastic day. They're going to throw down to first, but he's going to be back safely. Yeah, he absolutely crushed those baseballs that day. Him and Galikowski both had 2 home runs apiece. And Cruz was just killing it.
Gradakowski was just short of that cycle.
Yeah, he was short, what, the triple?
Yep.
He just had a fantastic night all the way around. Here comes the 1-2 pitch. That's going to be inside, 2-2 now.
Matt Rogers, you notice he's keeping a really close eye on Belkin here. Over at first.
And I misspoke earlier in the ballgame when I said that Balkan didn't play the Unicorns. Balkan was going to try and steal.
I was going to correct you on that.
I had the 10-9 ball game out in front of me, so that's my bad. I apologize for that. He actually went 3 for 6 in that game. He had an RBI as well, which was his second RBI of the season. He's only got 2. So I misspoke. I apologize for that.
I think I should have corrected you on that.
I probably would have realized sooner I had the wrong stats in front of me. Throw down, but can't blame you for that one. It's not your fault.
Yeah, dude.
I'll blame you for the rest of the game, though, if that's all right with you.
That's fine.
All right, just make sure we're on the same page here.
It's a Thursday, feels like more like a Monday.
It definitely does. Balkan's going to try and steal second, and the throw in is not going to be in time, and Balkan's going to steal second easily. So now with a 3-2 count on Chris Cruz, Balkan is in scoring position, and with no outs, the Unicorns have a chance to take the lead here in the early goings. Second 3-2 count for Matt Rogers already. The last one resulted in hitting Balkan. 3-2 pitch. It's going to be high. He's going to lose him, and Chris Cruz is going to get on base on balls. So now Colin Thacker will step in. He is the left fielder today for the Utica Unicorns.
And, of course, making his USPBL debut. Or it could be a second game because you know how they play those closed games throughout the week.
Well, debut to the public. Let's just go with that.
Yeah.
He's got a 0 batting average, so I doubt that's the matter of the fact, though. It's going to be high for a ball, and Matt Rogers here in the early goings is having trouble finding the strike zone. We got Chris Cruz on first. He walked. And Brett Balkan on second. He was hit by a pitch. Both worked their ways into 3-2 counts.
Great crowd on hand here at Jimmy John's Field this evening.
Dan, you know what we didn't go through during our pregame? Was who our predictions for player of the game was. Is that one's flied foul.
Didn't you hear me when I said when Brett Belkin came up, he was my player?
I'm sorry, did you say something?
Yes, I did.
I'm just messing with you. No, I actually didn't hear that. Yeah, so you chose Brett Balkin.
Yes, I did.
I chose John Mankin for the Hoppers, and Steve Reiter goes with Donnie Murray, the starter for the Unicorns. So let's see how that turns out. That's going to be in there for a strike, hitting the inside corner, 1-2.
Going through our picks of the games, I think Steve is beating us so far this season.
Yeah, he tends to make the best picks. Sometimes not all 3 of our picks don't perform that as well as we had hoped, but
yeah.
I mean, we're just trying to have some fun. Rogers takes a cautionary look back to second. Here comes the 1-2. He's going to ground that one. Ooh, misplayed there by Scott at shortstop, and that's going to allow him to reach base safely. That'll be a base hit for Colin Thacker, his first hit in the USPBL. Good way to make your debut on an infield hit and load the bases.
Dangerous Gradakowski.
So Galikowski, like you said, Dan, is going to step in now with bases loaded and no outs here in the top of the first inning.
He's hitting .333, 6 homers, 14 RBIs, and 19 hits. 2
of those homers, Dan, came courtesy of last time these two teams faced off. He absolutely crushed one to left field. 2 to left field, actually, as that one's going to be fouled off. A strike, 0-1. Galikowski has been a force in the Unicorns lineup so far this season. He came in about a week or two into the season and has been nothing but a hitting machine since. He broke out of his home run slump last weekend when these two teams faced off, when he hit those 2 home runs. And he fouls another one off, 0-2. I kept trying to say flies and fouls at the same time. It doesn't work out too well.
Sure doesn't.
Yeah, Galikowski had himself a 4 RBI day last time these two teams faced off last weekend. And like we mentioned, he was just a hit shy of the cycle. He had a home run, a double, and a single. Well, 2 home runs. Just was shy of the triple. He's going to foul another one off, so it's going to remain 0-2. Galikowski very eager here at the base at home plate to try and drive in some runs. He's got an early chance here to do some damage. Defense is playing him straight up. Comes the 0-2 pitch. He's going to ground that one through for a base hit on the right side, and that's going to score 1 run. They're going to try and score Chris Cruz from second. The throw-in's not going to be in time, so they're going to score 2 runs on a 2 RBI base hit for Taylor Galikowski.
And he starts off like he did last game.
Yeah, he did a fantastic job, and he just keeps piling in these RBIs. Wasn't a home run, but it was a ground ball single through the right side.
So Rogers is off to a rough start.
Yeah, he has yet to record an out in the first inning, and he's already had 2 runs against him. Definitely not how he wanted to start this out. He has a solid 3.66 ERA. I mean, it could be lower, but it's not bad by any stretch of the imagination. It's really solid, so not how we want to start this game. But there's still a lot of game left to play. You could bounce back next inning and then just cruise to the next 3 or 4.
And we've seen that what happened between these two last time. Unicorns were down, what, like 8 runs or 5 runs?
It was like 8-3 or something like that. And that game was a little something else. Brenner Rawl fouls that one off, so it's 0-2 on him now.
It took 4.5 hours to play that game.
Yeah, it was a long one.
It seemed longer.
So we got Galikowski at second and Colin Thacker at third base for Brandon Rawl. Still no outs here in the top of the first, and a 2-0 lead for the Unicorns.
And luckily, these two teams had a day off the next day.
The 0-2 pitch is fouled off. Going to remain 0-2. 90-mile-an-hour fastball. The wind is going from left to right as he swings and misses at that one. So it's going to be the first strikeout and first out of this ball game for Matt Rogers. And yeah, the wind is blowing from left to right here, and it's pretty strong. So any fly ball that's hit out to right field is going to be carried by that wind and have a chance to go out, I feel.
Mm-hmm.
Spencer Ibarra is going to step in now. He's also a newcomer to the USPBL, batting in the number 5 spot.
He is from Quinton Township.
And that's back in my home turf.
Right down the road.
0-1 now on Ibarra. He's got a chance here to get his first RBI with the Unicorns, with runners at second and third and 1 out. He's going to drive that one straight away center field. It's going to be caught by Kraft in center field, and that's going to be able to score 1 run as Galikowski advances to second base. Or third base, correction. So it won't be his first hit, but it'll be his first sac fly RBI, so I think that's quite the consolation prize for him. So with a 3-0 lead, Brendan Larkin Guilfoyle will stand in. He's the third baseman today for the Unicorns. He's got a runner at third, Taylor Galikowski, and 2 outs.
Ryan Larkin Guilfoyle, only hitting 194, has 6 hits, 2 homers, and 6 RBIs.
He's got a little bit of pop in his bat. It's just whether or not he can make contact on the balls. He swings and misses at that one. 0-1. Last time these two teams played, Dan, he flew out 3 times and then grounded out 2 times. He went 0 for 5. So he's got to make contact, or better contact, on these baseballs at least. 1-1.
And he looks forward to get redemption.
He keeps rolling over on
this
top
evening.
of him. He was actually the only member of the Unicorns lineup back last Saturday when these teams faced off that didn't get a base hit. Or didn't reach base, not get a base hit. 2-1 now.
So tonight, it's a new night. Looks to redeem himself.
Here comes the 2-1 pitch. He's going to break his bat at that one right at the base.
Watch out.
Slow little grounder over to first. They're going to toss it down to Rogers, who was covering, and that's going to be it for the inning. The bat made it further than the ball. So that's going to be it for the top half of the first inning. The Unicorns already have a 3-0 lead. They strike fast and strike early. So we're going to go back to the bottom half of the first inning where the Hoppers are going to be due up. And when we come back, we'll read off the starting lineup for the Hoppers. Please stay tuned. Welcome back, everyone. Brian Fisher and Dan Dilber with you. And as we get ready for the bottom half of the first inning, Dan's going to read off the starting lineup for the Hoppers.
All right, leading off, and at second is Ricky Castro. Batting second, and then left, you have Chris Power. Batting third, and right, you have John Macon. Batting fourth, and at first, you have Esteban Gomez. Batting fifth, and at DH, you have Mark Kruger. Batting sixth, and at third, you have Casey Chenoweth. Batting seventh, and in center, you have John Kraft. Batting eighth, and behind the plate, you have Kyle Figueroa. And batting ninth, and at shortstop, you have Jeremy Scott. And defensively for the Unicorns, in left, you have Colin Thacker. In center, you have Spencer Ibarra. In right, you have Brandon Raw. At third, you have Brandon Larkin Guilfoyle. At short, you have Brett Belkin. At second, you have Luke Doyle. At first, you have Terry Gradakowski. Doing the catching behind the plate is Chris Allen. And on the mound, Donnie Murray.
And Ricky Castro's going to step in now for the first batter for the Hoppers today. And he's playing second base today instead of shortstop. It's going to be Jeremy Scott playing shortstop today.
To be honest, I don't feel it's that much of a difference unless you're turning a double play here and there.
Well, he's proved himself adept on the infield, so I think he can probably play confidently wherever he's at. And first pitch to him is going to be outside, 1-0.
Last time these two teams faced, we didn't see him in the lineup, so.
Here comes the 1-0 pitch. It's going to be inside, 2-0. Yeah, you're right, Dan, and that was an odd, because he was in the lineup earlier that day. And I wonder if it has to do with the nagging shoulder problem he has. And that one's going to be in there for a strike, 2-1.
I mean, he's hitting .365, has 23 hits, has 3 RBIs, and definitely a fan favorite here at Jimmy John's Field.
Oh, for sure. He's got, like you said, he's got a .365 batting average. He's fast on the base paths, and he's solid defensively. How can he not be? As he drives that one deep to left field, but foul. So 2-2 on him now. And I wonder if Ricky Castro was in the lineup, if he had been healthy that day, if he could have been a difference maker, as they lost by 2 runs in a 17-15 ball game.
I thought he would come in late in the game, like pinch hit. or something.
Well, if you're hurt, you're hurt, and if you play hurt, all you're gonna do is make it worse. As he's gonna foul that one off down by the Hoppers dugout.
And off an umbrella over there.
Donnie Murray on the mound has been dominant so far this season. He's got 35 strikeouts and 32 2/3 innings pitched. Averages more than a strikeout per inning if you do that easy, quick math there. Comes the 2-2. He's going to check a swing on that. That ball's going to come inside, so a full count on him.
Yeah, I feel like the three great pitchers right now in this league is Donnie Murray, and of course you have Kevin Matthews, who we seen last Sunday, and then you have, of course, Jeremy Holcomb.
Holcomb started off the season very strong, and then he had one rough game, but he recovered pretty well. As he's going to ground that one over to the shortstop, Balkin. Balkin's going to throw down to first, and Thacker's going to get it. Or Galikowski, correction. It's going to be one up, one down here for Donnie Murray. I'm so used to Galikowski playing in left field, it threw me off when I saw.
I mean, we seen him behind the plate the last time.
Yeah, last time out against.
Definitely off.
He played in the catcher position, but he played that in college as well. So wasn't too. It was surprising it was because we hadn't seen him there yet. But after you read his statistics, it's like, I guess it's plausible. So Chris Power will step in. It's going to be a ball outside, 0-1. And just to continue on the Donnie Murray topic, Dan, Murray's having a fantastic season. We already mentioned that, but he's tied for second in wins with 4. He's second in strikeouts with 35, and he's fifth in ERA with a 2.76 ERA. If I could say it, I get that out. And I'm assuming he's only second in strikeouts to Kevin Matthews because Kevin Matthews is a strikeout machine.
Yes, he is.
Kevin Matthews has 36 on the season. Comes the 2-0 pitch. That one's going to be flied foul.
I mean, he made quick work last Sunday. It was a fast ball game.
Yeah, he also, I think, went 6 innings pitched that ball game. He did a fantastic job.
And we'll see the Beavers in action tomorrow,
and
along with the Woolly Mammoths.
If Murray manages to get a couple strikeouts, he'll pass Matthews. That one's going to be grounded through in the 5.5 hole down there between the third base and shortstop for a base hit. So now with 1 out, we have 1 man on for John Mencken. Mencken went 1 for 3 his last time up. He had a base hit and walked twice. And by last time out, I mean when they played the Unicorns last.
He's hitting .353, has 2 homers, 12 RBIs, and 18 hits.
Yeah, he's my pick for player of the game because he's definitely an intimidating player at the batter's box.
I'm shocked you didn't go with like a newcomer like you did the last game.
That didn't work out for me, so I decided to play it safe with players I know this time. Decent lead for Chris Power over there at first base. That pitch is going to be inside for a ball, 1-0.
Chick-fil-A Thursday. Sounds good, doesn't it?
Yeah, where is the Chick-fil-A?
The mascot?
Yeah, I don't see him normally. He's in the grandstand.
Yeah. Well.
He's like the highlight of Thursdays for me. 1-0 pitch is going to be in there. Ball, 2-0.
I feel we've always mentioned about this on Thursdays, of course, because it's Chick-fil-A. It does sound good right now.
It sounds good. It doesn't just sound good right now. It sounds good every night.
That's my go-to every single time we're at school up at Oakland.
Yeah, and that's why I gained 20 pounds this last semester. Comes the 2-0 pitch. Ooh, he's going to drive that one deep but foul. Got a lot on that one, but drove it foul. So 2-1 on him now with 1 out and a runner at first base.
If only he can just straighten that one out.
I think that one's still flying. Comes the 2-1 pitch. He's going to drive that one deep to left field, and that one
did straighten it
to
out.
the wall. That one's gone. A home run. A 2-run shot for John Mencken is going to make this a 3-2 ball game, and they're just going to trail by 1 run with 1 out here in the bottom of the first inning.
I think coincidence there. I said he just needs to straighten out, and look what he did.
Yeah, he definitely straightened that one out. His first one, he fouled off to the left side. He drove that one deep to left field. And my pick for player of the game is getting out to an early start here, Dan.
It's still early, Brian. Still early.
And it's quickly turning into a game. It's quickly turning into the last time these two teams met, where it ended up being a high-scoring ball game. 3-2 here already in the bottom of the first inning with one out. Esteban Gomez will stand in, and that's going to be fouled off. That is the first pitch strike that Donnie Murray has thrown. That first pitch is very crucial in any at-bat. It can really set the tone for how the plate appearance is going to go. Here comes the 0-1. It's going to be high for a ball, 1-1.
Gomez is hitting .281, has 2 homers, 16 RBIs, and 18 hits.
Yeah, last time these two teams met, Dan, he went 2 for 6. He grounded out 4 times, but had 2 base hits that came around to score both times.
So great night for him. Let's see if he can continue it this night.
It's going to be down low, 2-1. The 2-1 pitch is going to be fouled off into the netting. 2-2 now.
And before the game, if you were here and were able to make it, you got to see some vintage baseball.
Yeah, I didn't quite realize just how different, like
is.
old time,
Like
like 1880 baseball is like. That was quite a spectacle to behold. Here comes the 2-2. It's going to drive that one, and it's going to be dropping, and a fantastic diving play by Thacker over there in left field.
Wow.
Is going to be recorded for an out.
I mean, what a debut.
Yeah, so far he's got himself a base hit and a diving catch out there in left field. So he's quickly making himself a notable addition to the Unicorns lineup. So now with 2 outs, Mark Kruger will step in, hitting in the DH spot today. Batting 5th. Here comes the 0-1. It's going to be high for a ball. Or strike, 0-2. Comes the 0-2 pitch. It's going to be outside for a ball, 1-2. I was right that time. It was a ball.
You have a tendency to jinx, you know.
I also have a tendency to speak before the final.
That's what I meant to say.
If I think it's a ball, I'll say it's a ball, but I got to wait for the umpire. The 1-2 pitch is going to actually go off the inside of the umpire's leg. 2-2 now. That was going to be driven fouled on the left field line into the Hoppers bullpen. 2-2. It will remain. Mark Kruger last time out. He went 2 for 4. He had 2 base hits and 2 RBIs. Reached on an error, scored on an error, and had himself a walk. So had himself a good game as that one's going to be hit on a line right to Luke Doyle. Do a little leaping play and catch it. So that'll be it for the inning, but John Mankin hits a 2-run home run and gets 2 back for the Hoppers. We'll go to the top of the second inning where it's going to be a 3-2 lead for the Utica Unicorns. Due up for those Unicorns in the top half of the inning will be Luke Doyle, Chris Allen, and Brett Balkin. So we'll be back shortly with more. Please stay tuned. Welcome back, everyone, to the top half of the second inning. Brian Fisher and Dan Dilber with you here in this beautiful evening between the Unicorns and the Hoppers. It's currently a 3-2 lead in favor of the Unicorns. Luke Doyle set to lead it off here against Matt Rogers in the top half of the inning. And in case you missed it, the Unicorns got out to an early 3-0 lead in the top half of the first thanks to a 2 RBI single from Galikowski and a sac fly from Spencer Ibarra. And then John Mankin quickly replied with the Unicorns. He hit a 2-run home run to make it 3-2. So that's how we got to where we are, and Luke Doyle is still waiting on his first pitch.
Hey, you know how these two teams go at each other. I mean, it's going to be back and forth all game long.
It's already 3-2. Last time we saw him, it was 17-15. Time before that, 10-9. So expect to see a lot of runs in today's ballgame. Even with two dominant pitchers such as Matt Rogers and Donnie Murray on the mound, that might not save them from absolute slugfest.
Yeah, I would be shocked if this is a low-scoring game.
Swing and a foul tip there, 0-1. It's an 85-mile-an-hour pitch.
Luke Doyle was hitting 279 of the season. Does have a homer and 5 RBIs.
1-1 on him now, as that one missed for a ball. That one's in for a strike. 1-2. Let's see if Matt Rogers can have a bounce-back inning here. He really struggled in the top half of the first inning. That was the 1-2 pitch. It's going to be inside for a ball. Count's going to fall even at 2 apiece. He hit Brett Balkin, walked Chris Cruz, and then gave up 2 singles before he finally got the next 3 batters out. And the first 2 batters he faced last inning went to 3-2 counts. So he's going to try and avoid that here. It's 2-2. Comes the pitch. That one's going to be driven to center field. Kraft's going to come in and not make a sliding catch. And so Luke Doyle's going to go to second base and stop there as the throw comes inside. So that'll be a double for Luke Doyle.
Now batting the catcher, number 2, Chris.
Yeah, John Kraft had to come in for that one. It made a dive, but couldn't, make the catch.
It looked like it was going to be a tough play either way. Kraft was coming in and tried to slide and make the catch, but he couldn't pull off what Thacker did just half inning before and was not able to corral it. So Luke Doyle's on with a double and with no outs as a runner in scoring position as Chris Allen's going to try and bunts it high in the air into the netting behind home plate. So 0-1 now on the newcomer Christopher Allen. Comes the 0-1 pitch. Showing bunt again, but missed on that one. They tipped it foul, 0-2. So 0-2 count on Chris Allen in his debut here with the Unicorns. No outs and a runner at second. 3-2 lead for the Unicorns here in the top of the second inning.
Public-wise, that is. Because I think they had a game during this week.
It's going to be high, a ball, 1-2. The 1-2 count is going to be miss outside. 2-2 now. A couple more clouds start rolling in. It went from partly cloudy to mostly cloudy now. Two-two pitch. Going to be high. Ball, 3-2. Going to be another full count for Matt Rogers. His third of the ball game already.
I mean, it rained way early this morning, depending where you live. I know about maybe 5 a.m. we had some rain showers. In my area, that is.
I know it was thunderstorming because my dogs came and woke me up. 3-2 pitch is going to be way high, and he's going to walk Chris Allen. And that ball's going to get away from Figueroa, so that's going to allow Luke Doyle to advance on to third. So runners at the corners now for Brett Balkin with a chance to drive home a run and extend their lead.
Here comes the stash.
He was hit by a pitch last time, Dan. He worked it to a 3-2 count before finally getting hit by that pitch. Unfortunate result. I'm sure he's okay with it because he reached base, but unfortunate for the fans who are hoping for either a strikeout or a hit.
I mean, we used to see him at the middle of the lineup. Now look at him. He's at the top.
I can't say as I blame him. Swing and a miss there. Foul tip, actually. 0-1.
The very top.
Well, if you look at him, he doesn't have any home runs or RBIs. He gets on base via base hits constantly, so he's really perfect for that leadoff spot. Doesn't hit for power, but hits great contact. So he's perfect for that leadoff spot, just for the following batters to have a guy on base to work with. Here comes the 0-1 pitch. It's going to be high and inside, 1-1.
Rogers just been missing his location.
Yeah, he's been struggling to hit the strike zone so far early in this ballgame, Dan, and that's come around to bite him already as he's given up 3 runs, and it's only the second inning. No outs yet either. Here comes the 1-1 pitch. Ooh, he's going to drive that one to right field, right into the glove of Mencken, though. And they're going to hold at third and first. So no sac fly for Brett Balkin as he flies out to the right fielder Mencken. And
Great job there by Luke Doyle staying there at third, because that was a beautiful throw there by John Mencken.
yeah, it wasn't hit very deep over in the right field, so he would have had to been incredibly fast to make it home. And I mean, Luke Doyle does have a lot of speed, but I mean, incredibly fast. And Chris Cruz will step in. He walked his first time up. Still got runners at the corners now with 1 out. Going to drive that one into the air. It's going to be 0-1 as that one lands in foul territory.
Lights begin to come on here at the ballpark, to give it some time at least, because they take a while to come on.
Well, it's not supposed to get dark till about 9:30, but with these clouds rolling in, it's going to really invade on the lighting. 0-1 pitch. It's going to drive that one into foul territory down by the Hoppers dugout. Chenoweth, who came sprinting in, is not able to make the catch. It's going to be 0-2 now.
And Brian, speaking of the mascot for Chick-fil-A, it's over here to the left.
Oh, I can't see him.
Third base line.
I see him now. The cow. The kind of honestly eerily realistic cow.
The one that says eat more chicken.
Comes the 0-2 pitch. Swung on and miss, and Chris Cruz is going to go on down on strikes. The second strikeout of the day for Matt Rogers. And now Colin Thacker is going to come up with his first RBI opportunity here with the Unicorns. He got a base hit, infield base hit his last time up.
If Rogers is able to get out of here, that would be huge.
It'll be huge for him, too, confidence-wise going forward into this ballgame. To leave runners at the corners, to work from a no-out situation with runners at the corners is going to be huge for his confidence and could really propel him through the next few innings. Comes the first pitch to him. It's going to be a strike, 0-1 on Thacker.
Yeah, he had his first hit here in USPBL back in the first.
He's going to try and get his first RBI here as well. Fellow newcomer Spencer Ibarra already beat him to that with a sac fly RBI back in the first. That was going to be hit for a single down the right field line, and that's going to at least score 1 run. He's going to try for 2, and they're going to wave home Chris Allen, and Chris Allen's going to score all the way from first base on a 2 RBI double down the first base line.
Beautiful hit there by Thacker.
Yeah, great piece of hitting there to really, that one was, what a foot inside of the foul line?
Definitely the spot you want.
So he's already 2 for 2 in his debut here, and he's got himself 2 RBIs. So maybe I should have gone with the rookies.
Yeah, I told you.
So Taylor Galikowski's going to step in. He had himself a 2 RBI single back in the first inning, and with a runner at second and now a 5-2 lead, he's got a chance to tack on another. One's going to be in there for a strike, hitting the inside edge. 0-1.
I was surprised you didn't pick the newcomers.
Well, it felt like I had learned my lesson from last time, but clearly not. Although my pick, John Mencken, does have a 2-run home run, so I'm not necessarily disappointed with how he's performing. One's going to be in there for a strike as well, 0-2. And Matt Rogers was just 1 out away from working out of a jam here in the second inning, but unfortunately gave up 2 more runs, and it's going to be a 5-2 lead now for the Unicorns, restoring their 3-run lead that they came into the bottom half of the first with. It's going to be outside for a ball, 1-2. Here comes the 1-2 pitch. Swung on and missed. Big rip there by Galikowski. He's going to strike out and end the inning, but not before Colin Thacker gets his first 2 RBIs at the USPBL and extend the lead to 5-2 for the Unicorns. So we go to the bottom half of the inning, where it's going to be a 5-2 lead for the Unicorns. Due up for the Hoppers is going to be Casey Chenoweth, John Kraft, and Cal Figueroa. So we'll be back shortly with more. Please stay tuned. Welcome back, everyone. Brian Fisher and Dan Dobler with you here on this Thursday evening game between the Eastside Diamond Hoppers and the Utica Unicorns. The Unicorns currently lead it 5-2 here as we start off the bottom half of the second inning.
Yeah, rough start right now for Rogers, for the Diamond Hoppers.
He already given up 5 earned runs through 2 innings. Definitely not the start he had intended. Denny Murray already has 2 of his own, and he's going to look for a bounce-back inning here after he gave up a 2-run home run to John Mencken in the first inning. He faces off with Casey Chenoweth here to start the bottom half of the second. That pitch is going to be way inside, 1-0.
He did have an RBI last time these 2 teams faced. But it's on base a lot.
1-0 pitch is going to be grounded up to the shortstop Balkan. It's going to make the throw down to Galikowski, and it'll be 1 up, 1 down here for Danny Murray and his Utica Unicorns. So now John Kraft will step in.
John Kraft hitting .250, has 5 hits, and of course 0 RBIs, 0 home runs. You just finds a way to get on.
At least a quarter of the time. As that one's a ball, 1-0. 91-mile-an-hour fastball ball by Donnie Murray seems to be about the fastest he's going to throw the ball today. That one's going to be driven way high in the air, and Doyle is going to come in and make the catch by the first base. And be 2 up, 2 down quickly for Donnie Murray.
I don't want to call it early, but he's doing a lot better than he was back in the first. Better to start.
Well, you just jinxed it. Now he's going to give a home run.
Oh, no.
Cal Figueroa's going to step in now.
I believe in him, Brian. I feel he can get it. 1, 2, 3 here.
That'd be a great bounce-back inning for him, especially because we've played only an inning and a half here. Someone's going to be in there for a strike. 0-1. Again, hitting that 91-mile-an-hour fastball. I don't think I've seen one faster or slower from him yet. Here's the 0-1 pitch. One's going to get away from Allen, but no one on base, so no harm done. 1-1.
You know, Donnie Murray's definitely a pitcher you can rely on as well coming out of the bullpen if needed. We've seen him a couple times. Not just in the starting role, but also in the relieving role.
Yeah, in long games, it's sometimes necessary to use any pitcher you can, and Donnie Murray has been relied on a few times. Clearly, he does well in any role he's put in. I mean, he's second in wins, and ERA is that one's going to be strike 1-2 as he fouled that one off. Here comes the 1-2 pitch. He's going to foul another one off. Going to remain 1-2. Comes the 1-2. It's going to be in the dirt. 2-2 now. 2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs here in the bottom half of the second inning as the Hoppers currently trail 5-2. In case you're just tuning in, the Unicorns got out to an early 3-0 lead. Back in the first inning, Galikowski had a 2 RBI base hit. Spencer Ibarra got his first RBI with the Unicorns with a sac fly, making it 3-0. John Mencken hit a 2-run home run in the bottom half of the first to make it 3-2, and then most recently, Colin Thacker, for his first 2 RBIs with the Unicorns, had a double that brought in 2 to make it 5-2. So another one was fouled off meanwhile, so it's going to remain 2-2. Here comes the 2-2 pitch. Ooh, that one's going to be down low. It's going to strike him out looking. Kyle Figueroa's not going to agree with that call, but Johnny Murray bounces back after a rough first inning and goes 1-2-3. And we go to the top half of the third inning with a 5-2 lead for the Utica Unicorns. When we come back, it's going to be led off by Brandon Raw, Spencer Ibarra, and Brandon Larkin Guilfoyle. So we'll be back shortly with more. Please stay tuned. Welcome back, everyone. Brian Fisher and Dan Dolber with you here for the top half of the third inning. Unicorns lead at 5-2, and due up will be Brandon Raw. Matt Rogers out for his third inning of work, trying to bounce back after a rough first couple innings. He's given up 5 earned runs and 4 hits, and walked 1 man so far and hit a batter. So not the greatest of outlooks so far for him, but still got time left in this ball game for him to turn it around.
Raw was Rogers' first strikeout victim back in the first.
And here comes the first pitch of the second at bat, as that one's high for a ball, 1-0. Matt Rogers continues to struggle, hitting the strike zone and getting those first pitch strikes. There's a 1-0 pitch. One's going to be flied into right center field. Mankins going to cruise on over and make the catch. So gets Brandon Raw out for the second time today. Spencer Ibarra will come up. He flew out to Kraft his last time up, but got an RBI, so sac fly RBI. So he doesn't have an official at-bat today, but he got he got his first RBI before he got his first hit. You don't see that very often. That one's going to be in there for a strike, 0-1. But he'll take it nonetheless, I'm sure.
The Hoppers do have action in their bullpen as the righty Ben Allison warming up.
And Ben Allison is in dire need of a good outing, as last time these two teams faced last Saturday, he gave up 9 earned runs and just 1 2/3 innings pitched. So he'll be looking to come out here and really turn things around. Oh, and 2 on Ibarra. Here comes the pitch. He's going to ground that one over the second baseman, Castro. Castro's going to make the easy throw down the first and get him. So 2 up, 2 down for Matt Rogers here in the top half of the third inning. So now Brandon Larkin Guilfoyle will step in. Grounded out his last time up.
And broke his bat as well.
Yeah, the bat, Dan, actually flew further than the ball. He broke it right at the base, so like 90% of the bat went flying towards Castro at second as the ball kind of trickled down to the first base. He's going to pop that one high in the air, and Chenoweth is going to make it in foul territory. So it's going to be a quick 1-2-3 inning for Matt Rogers. Great bounce back.
And he needed it.
That's precisely what he needed after giving up 5 earned runs in the first 2 innings. And so we'll go to the bottom half of the third inning, where the Unicorns will be due up, and Jeremy Scott's going to lead it off for him. Following him is going to be Ricky Castro and Chris Power. So we'll be back shortly with more. Please stay tuned. Welcome back, everyone, to the bottom half of the third inning. 5-2 lead currently for the Utica Unicorns, as Jeremy Scott's going to lead it off. His first at-bat of the ball game.
He had that 3 RBI triple last time these two teams faced, and then was replaced by Joe Maroney on an injury.
Well, his batting average is just at 200, and So I kind of understand why they would pull him out, but he was having a good game. Like you mentioned, Dan, he had that 3 RBI triple. So it's a little curious as to why they pulled him out in that particular game. And it's going to be a 1-0 count now, and Scott as the first ball missed way outside. But let's see if he can continue to heat up here. In his first at-bat of the ball game, his team currently trails by 3 runs. One-0 pitch is going to be driven to right field, fairly deep, raw on the run. Will make the catch just shy of the warning track by the foul pole. And that'll be 1 out for the Hoppers here in the bottom half of the 3rd inning. So now Ricky Castro will step in. Grounded out to the shortstop his last time up.
Hitting .365, 3 RBIs, 23 hits.
This is going to be grounded foul into the Unicorns' dugout, and 0-1 on him now.
I mean, his walk-up music definitely gets you dancing here in the press box, doesn't it?
Yeah, it's definitely upbeat music. 0-1 pitch is going to be grounded over to the first baseman, but it'll bounce foul. So 0-2 on him now. Comes the 0-2 pitch. It's going to be a ball in the dirt, go through the legs of Allen. 1-2 now. The 1-2 pitch inside and in the dirt, so count's going to fall even at 2 apiece now. The 2-2 pitch is going to foul that one off, so it'll remain 2-2. Another one in the dirt. Count's going to go full 3-2, so after getting 2 strikes against Castro, Castro's found himself in a 3-2 count.
What will he do here, Brian?
I think after how the last couple pitches go, you know what? I don't know. The last few pitches have been really sporadic, but he's such a confident hitter. Could go really either way. He's going to swing on it. He's going to drive it to center field. Fairly deep, but a bar is going to make the catch out there in left center. So the swinging on a 3-2 did not pay off for him. So Chris Bauer's going to step in now. He had a base hit back in the first inning.
Bauer's got those fancy cleats on in center.
Yeah, they're a bright orange, and you can actually see them all the way from up here in the press box. I can only imagine that on a very sunny day, it would kind of almost reflect the sunlight.
Yeah.
First pitch to Power is going to be just outside, 1-0. Here's the 1-0 pitch. It's going to be in there for a strike, 1-1. Comes the 1-1. Be low and away. 2-1 now. Two-one pitch. It's going to be in there for a strike. Count's going to be even at 2 apiece now. Clouds looking a little bit intimidating here as they have gotten a lot darker since the start of the ball game. 3-2 now. Another 3-2 count for Donnie Murray. He's had a few of them in this ball game already.
Now, Brian, don't jinx it.
If I were to jinx it, I should say it will rain, and then it won't.
Okay.
It's just how it works when I jinx things. Whenever I say one thing's happening, the opposite happens. That was going to be low for a ball, and he's going to walk Chris Power.
Now back to right fielder, number 12, John Mencken.
So John Mencken will step in now.
That was Murray's first walk of the ball game.
Yeah, so despite some control issues, he only just now walked somebody. I mean, he's let up 2 earned runs, but that came just because of one bad pitch to John Mencken, who is up again. Menken's the one who hit a home run deep to left field last time. He fouls that one off his ankle as he tries to walk it off. 0-1 now.
And he's your player of the game.
Yeah, hitting for a 2-run home run in your first at-bat really makes me feel good.
Unfortunate for me, I got Belkin. I mean, was only on being hit by a pitch. And still second, so.
It was the 0-1. It's going to be in the dirt. 1-1. Murray kind of struggling with his command here a little bit.
Yes, he is.
Had a 1-2-3 second inning, but keeps hitting the can't find the bottom of the strike zone. It keeps ending up in the dirt.
And you know Mencken ain't gonna go golfing for it.
I can also understand him being very cautious with Mencken because Mencken has quite a lot of power. Menken's gonna call for time. One pitch is going to be driven fairly deep to center field. Ibarra is going to make the catch on the warning track, and that's going to be it for the bottom half of the third inning. And we've played third innings, and it's going to be a 5-3 lead for Unicorns as we go to the top half of the fourth inning. Due up for the Unicorns is going to be Luke Doyle. Following him is going to be Chris Allen and Brett Balkin. So we'll be back shortly with more. Please stay tuned.
Number 9, Luke Doyle. Luke was signed by the St. Louis Cardinals in 2015 and playing for the
Welcome back, everyone, to the top half of the fourth inning. 5-3 lead for the Utica Unicorns here.
outfield spots in his first 44 games as a professional.
Luke Doyle set to lead it off for the Unicorns as Matt Rogers is out for his fourth inning of work. That one's going to be a strike. 0-1 now.
He had a hit double last time.
Yeah, Luke Doyle started off the game strong with that double. Let's see if he can repeat that here. Matt Rogers set himself a bounce-back inning last inning. He went 1-2-3. As that one's in for a strike, 0-2. He's going to try and continue that trend here. He had a rough first 2 innings, but really settled it down in the third.
Ben Ellison still continuing to warm up in the Hoppers bullpen.
Comes the 0-2. He's going to be way inside. 1-2 now. There's still a strong wind going from left field to right field. But we have yet to see a ball really hit over in that direction, as that one's going to be grounded over to the first baseman, Gomez. He'll tag first base and be a quick 1 out here for the Unicorns. Chris Allen will step up. He got a base hit his first time up. That was his first base hit with the Unicorns. Or he walked. Correction, my bad. Swing and a miss there. Big rip. 0-1. After he walked, he did, however, come around to score thanks to the 2 RBI double from Colin Thacker. Be a ball. 1-1. Comes the 1-1. It's going to be in there for a strike. 1-2. Once you pitch, it's going to be fouled off. So it'll remain 1-2. You just got barely a piece of it. Stay alive. Allen out of Louisville, Kentucky. He's going to drive that one into foul territory onto the right field patio.
Do you think he could maybe be a Louisville Cardinal fan then?
I pretty much guarantee that, especially with the fact that they've been doing very well, as that one's going to be a ball. 2-2.
And then you got Kentucky, of course. But obviously being from Louisville, you would think.
He's going to go down on strikes, so that'll be a strikeout for Matt Rogers.
Now batting the shortstop, number 15, Brett Balkin.
Fresh.
So now Brett Balkin will step in. He is 0 for 1 today. He got hit by a pitch and then flew out to the right field his last time up.
Known as the Stash. Sitting 426, 20 hits, 2 RBIs. I mean,
Speaking of hits, as that one's driven into the gap in right center field. A fantastic dive
It
or
looked
sliding
almost like a
catch
hit.
by John Macon out there in right field is going to rob Brett Balkin of his first hit of the ball game. And we've played four and a half innings here.
we have seen quite a few defensive plays here.
Yeah, it's been a defensive showcase today. As we go to the bottom half of the 4th inning, where the Hoppers will be due up, Esteban Gomez, Mark Kruger, and Casey Chenoweth will stand in to lead off the bottom half of the 4th. So it's a 5-3 lead for the Unicorns. We'll be back shortly with more. Welcome back, everyone, to the bottom half of the fourth inning where Esteban Gomez is set to lead it off. He flew out to Thacker's last time up, Thacker making a great sliding catch. John Macon, Dan, is having himself quite a day as he has hit a 2-run home run and made a fantastic diving play out there to end the top half of the inning. He's going to drive that one into center field for a base hit, and Esteban Gomez singles on the first pitch he sees. So Mark Kruger will now stand in. He's got a man at first with no outs here in the bottom half of the inning. He's trailing. His team is trailing 5-2. In case you're just tuning in, the Unicorns got out to a 3-0 lead. 2 RBI base hit from Taylor Galikowski and a sac fly RBI from Spencer Ybarra put them up 3-0 as John Macon would make it 3-2 in the bottom half of the first with a 2-run shot. And then a 2 RBI double from Colin Thacker in the top of the second inning gave them a 5-3 lead, or 5-2 lead, and we've been there ever since. As that one's going to be hit over the head of the second baseman Doyle and in for a base hit. And Esteban Gomez is going to try and advance all the way to third. Will do so successfully. So a base hit for Mark Kruger puts runners at the corners with no outs. So all of a sudden the Diamond Hoppers have something to work with here as dark clouds continue to roll in.
I don't know if it's just getting dark out here, nighttime.
No, not this early. We still have another hour, at least an hour of light.
I know to the right field area, it's really dark clouds, like where the Ferris wheel is.
And you know what? The wind has changed directions, Dan. It was going from left to right field, but now it's going right to left field.
I don't know, Brian. Clouds are always, and the weather's definitely weird here in Michigan.
That ball is going to be fouled off a strike, 0-1. Broke his bat on the swing as well, so he's going to have to go back and try and get a new one. Chris Allen has had a quick meeting with Murray at the mound. Now a strong wind from right field to left field. It's crazy how the wind changed directions like that. That's not usually a good sign.
No.
It was the 0-1 pitch. Swing and a miss at a pitch in the dirt. It's going to make it 0-2 now. Runners at the corners. And the rain has started to fall here. And the wind is really picking up here.
It really is.
Comes the 0-2 pitch. He's going to drive that one into left field, and that's going to score at least one run and make it a 5-3 ball game.
There's definitely a wind picking up here at the ballpark.
Yeah, base hit RBI as the wind and the rain begin to fall. And it's looking a bit gloomy out. So Casey Chenoweth hits a base hit into left field, and that's going to make it 5-3. So with runners at first and second base, John Kraft will step in. Lined out to the second baseman his first time up. First pitch to John Kraft, he swung on and missed. A pitch in the dirt. 0-1 now. Fans wasting no time evacuating the grandstand. So far, it's just heavy wind. I think it might be raining a little bit, but not much.
This is weird, Brian.
But they might be feeling threatened due to the clouds. The pitch is going to get away from Allen. That's going to allow both runners to advance. So now runners at second and third with no outs here in the bottom half of the fourth inning.
It's just weird how the wind just changed direction quick.
Well, I'm just watching that flag at center field just absolutely being whipped around.
It was on the right side, now it's on the left side.
Yeah. So hopefully this weather will pass over us. Runners at second and third, 5-3 ball game. No outs here in the bottom half of the fourth inning. Run has scored thanks to the Casey Chen with RBI single. Swung on and missed there. Be 1-2 now on Kraft. One-two pitch is going to be in the dirt. 2-2 now. Johnny Murray having trouble this inning trying to hit his spots. He's been throwing a lot of pitches in the dirt. Two-two pitch, swung on and tipped foul. So it'll remain 2-2. Just barely getting a piece of that one. Comes the 2-2 pitch. It's going to be low for a ball, 3-2. So a 3-2 count with no outs here in the bottom half of the fourth inning. Runners at second and third. Swung on and missed. And John Kraft goes down on strikes, and that'll be the first out. Yes, he did, Dan. It's going to be the first out here at the bottom of the fourth. Kyle Figueroa, who struck out looking his last time up, will stand in. Just got a chance to tie the ball game with a base hit here. Runners at second and third. First pitch, Figueroa is going to be outside for a ball, 1-0. Here comes the 1-0. Swung on and missed there. Big rip, as that one's actually foul tipped into the glove of Allen. Still a big rip nonetheless.
Yeah.
1 ball, 1 strike.
I mean, this is a perfect chance for Figueroa. I mean, after striking out his last time up to get an RBI or any hit to bring in 2 maybe.
He's got 8 so far this season, Dan. He can make that total of 10 with a good base hit here. Swung on, missed on that one. He looks like he looks like he really wants that one. 1-2 now. Johnny Moore trying to work out of a jam here. Comes the 1-2 pitch. It's going to be grounded over to the third baseman. Throw down at first, going to get him, but another run is going to score. So on that ground out, it'll be 5-4.
Now batting shortstop, number 20, Jeremy Scott.
So Casey Chen will be at third base with 2 outs for Jeremy Scott, and he'll try to tie this ball game here in the bottom of the fourth inning. Last time up, Scott flew out to the right fielder. Raw had to catch that ball on the run. It's going to be a strike on the outside corner, 0-1. 89-mile-an-hour fastball from Donnie Murray. A 1 pitch is a ball. Tried to hit the same spot, missed outside, 1-1. Comes the 1-1 pitch. It's going to be high for a ball, 2-1. It's going to be low. 3-1 now.
I just keep looking at that flag out there in center, just watching the wind just change directions.
Yeah, it's definitely coming in strong. The trees behind it are really waving. Throw and pitch is going to be on the outside corner for a strike. Count will run full now, 3-2. 3-2 count with 2 outs and a runner at third base. Jeremy Scott up trying to tie this ball game, make it 5-5. His team currently trails it 5-4. Three-two pitch is going to be fouled in the netting, going to remain 3-2. And the rain has officially started as the fans vacate.
It's a matter of time, the way this wind's been going. And the dark clouds.
Here comes the 3-2 pitch. It's going to miss outside. We're going to walk Jeremy Scott. So now we'll have runners at the corners with 2 outs for Ricky Castro.
Now batting the second baseman, number 7, Ricky Castro.
It's going to be a meeting at the mound. And Donnie Murray's day is going to be done.
Yeah.
And Lane Gussler is going to come in relief, try and end this inning for the Utica Unicorns. Light rainfall continues to fall. So Donnie Murray only goes 3 2/3 innings. Gives up 5 hits. 4 runs, all of which were earned. Just 1 walk and 2 strikeouts. And Donnie Murray, who is normally dominant in the starting position, really struggled today.
Yeah, you did.
With only 3 2/3 inning pitched and 4 earned runs. So now it'll be up to Lane Gussler to get him out of this inning and out of this jam and limit the damage here.
Lane Gussler.
In 16 2/3 innings pitched, and he's got a 7.56 ERA.
Only giving up 19 hits. Has 2 wins, only 1 loss.
He's giving up 17 runs, though. This is going to be a crucial appearance for him as he's going to try and end this inning as the rain continues to fall, but it appears to be slowing down. Some fans choose to stick it out here in the stands.
Ryan Gushler. Yeah, like you said, we've seen him quite a few times, and he looks to come in here, get out of this inning for Donnie Murray. It's been quite the battle between these two teams. Very close one this evening.
It's always like this every time they play. We've seen
Yep.
10-9, 17-15, and now it's 5-4, and we haven't even played half a ball game yet. These teams always tend to have the long ones. So now Ricky Castro will step in. He's 0 for 2 yet today, and he looks to tie the ball game with runners at the corners and 2 outs here in the bottom of the 4th inning. First pitch to him is going to miss inside. 1-0 as he's going to spin out of the way of it. Rain stopped here, but the clouds still look threatening. 1-0 pitch is going to miss outside. 2-0. Correction, that one was called for a strike. 1-1. One pitch, and Jeremy Scott's going to try and steal second base, and he will so. But unfortunately, that ball was fouled off, so he'll have to retreat back. So 1-2 now. Comes the gonna call for time as Gussler took his time to deliver that pitch. Gussler sets again. Throw down to first, and Scott gets back in time. Pitch is going to be in there, and they're going to throw down a second and get Jeremy Scott as he tries to steal second base. But after 4 innings of play, the game is going to still be a 5-4 Utica Unicorns lead. Hoppers do, however, get 2 back, 2 back, and we go to the top half of the 5th inning where Chris Cruz is going to lead it off. Following him will be Colin Thacker and Taylor Galikowski. So we'll be back shortly with more. Welcome back, everyone, to the top half of the 5th inning. Chris Cruz is set to lead it off. He is 0 for 1 today. He walked and came around to score his last time up. First pitch to him is going to be a ball 1-0.
Cruz hitting .266, has 4 homers, 17 RBIs, and 17 hits.
It's going to be a ball 2-0 now. He's going to be fouled off, 2-1.
That souvenir was brought to you by Northwestern Tech, the HBA school that works.
2-1 pitch is going to be inside. 3-1 now on Chris Cruz. Swung on a miss there. 3-2 now. So a full count on Chris Cruz here with no outs here in the top half of the 5th inning. His team, the Unicorns, lead at 5-4. Swung on and he got a lot on that one. Drilled it right into the screen down there in right field. So it's going to be foul. Remain 3-2. As the rain starts to fall again.
I was looking at the radar. It's like this one little blob, but it's like missing us. We're going to get the very edge of the piece of the blob.
The piece of the blob. Heard it here first, folks.
I'm not a weatherman, so.
It was a 3-2 pitch. It's going to be outside. He's going to walk him.
Oh.
So Colin Thacker will come in. He's got 2 hits today, a base hit and a double, and 2 RBIs. So great start for him here with the Utica Unicorns. He's now got a runner at first with no outs. Swung on a miss there. Big rip from Thacker. It's going to be a strike 0-1. It was the 0-1 pitch. He's going to drive that one to deep left field. That's an absolute moonshot. That's going to be a 2-run home run.
Wow.
His first in USPBL.
What a beauty.
Yeah, and that's going to give them a 7-4 lead here in the top of the 5th inning. And he's got himself a 3-hit day, and he's just a triple shy of the cycle in his first game here at Jimmy John's Field.
You should have went with him, Brian, as your player. One of them at least.
And that was an absolute moonshot to left field.
Yes, it was.
And
just perfect swing. I mean, as soon as it hit his bat, you knew it was going out.
Yeah, you knew that one was gone. And it's going to be a 7-4 lead now as the rain continues to come down here even harder now. As Taylor Galikowski will step in. He's got himself a 2 RBI single back in the 1st inning. Just as the Hoppers began to close in, the Unicorns get 2 of them back. Make it a 3-run lead yet again. So that pitch is going to be inside for a ball 1-0. The first swing that Thacker hit or swung, it looked like he was swinging for the fences. I mean, he absolutely took a rip at that one, but he missed. But he didn't miss on the second pitch, that's for sure.
That's a beautiful swing from him.
That one's going to be hit straight up into the air. Castro's going to come behind second base onto the outfield grass, back up and make the catch. And so after that home run, we have an out now, where Brandon Raw will now step in. He's 0 for 2 today. Strikeout and flyout so far. As the rain is coming down hard here at Jimmy John's Field. Shouldn't last long, though. First pitch to Raw is going to be in there for a strike, hitting the outside corner, 0-1. Here's the 0-1 pitch. He's going to drive that one down the right field line, and it's
it
wow,
is
Lord,
really coming down.
It's really coming down. They're going to call that, and it's going to go into a rain delay as Chris Power is absolutely sprinting off the field as fast as he could. That was quite a spectacle to watch. So we're going to go to a rain delay, 7-4 lead for the Utica Unicorns with one out here in the top half of the 5th inning. And we'll be back shortly and keep you up to date on what's going on. So please stay tuned. Welcome back, everyone. A quick update on the weather delay we have going on here. And it should be out of here in the next 30 to 45 minutes, and then we can continue on with this ball game. It's currently a 7-4 lead in favor of the Utica Unicorns, thanks to a 2-run shot from the newcomer, Colin Thatcher, and it made it 7-4. So hopefully this rain will end shortly, and when we come back, we'll continue on at the top of the 5th inning. There is currently one out here in the top of the 5th, and Colin Thacker had just hit that 2-run home run, a batter beforehand. So we'll be back shortly, well, hopefully shortly, we'll hope so, with the rain stopping, and please stay tuned, and we will be back with more baseball. All right, thank you, everyone. We're back for final time today.
Bad news?
Bad news is the game is delayed as the rain isn't set to stop anytime soon, and I'm pretty sure everyone has left the stadium.
Yeah.
So the game is going to be postponed. It's currently a 7-4 lead for the Unicorns. It was a great start of the season for Colin Thacker, Chris Allen, and Spencer Ibarra. They all had pretty good showings today. Colin Thacker went 3 for 3. He had an infield base hit, a 2 RBI double, and a 2-run home run. So he had 4 RBIs today, and in his debut,
yeah.
I mean, even though it's a postponed game, he's got to be player of the game, I have to imagine.
Does. You know what? More likely to probably make up this game during the week, I'm thinking.
Well, here comes the overhead announcement now.
Suspended, actually, due to rain. But the fun does not have to end. Take your rainout tickets and head over to Dave & Buster's in Utica and receive a free $20 gameplay with a purchase of a $20 gameplay or reload. Rainout tickets are required.
So the official resume date is not given. We assume, like you said, Dan, it's going to be on a close game. Finish off the last 4 innings here. 7-4 lead for the Utica Unicorns. And Dan, what's on the menu for tomorrow?
All right, I'll take a look. It's OU night.
Yes, it is. I can't wait for that. I wear all my OU T-shirts at once in the heat. I'll wear it like a champ.
You can do that. I'm just going to wear one. So anyways, tomorrow we have the... It looks like we have the Beavers and the Mammoths in action.
They're already done. They're already leaving.
First pitch is 7:05.
So Beavers and Mammoths, huh, Dan?
Yep, and that's going to be the same matchup again on Saturday as well.
So, really? And then
Yeah.
we have the Hoppers and Unicorns on Sunday.
Yeah.
So it's a lot of dualities this weekend. And like I said, it's got 7-4 postponement. Probably going to finish this game on a close date. And from Jimmy John's Field, I'm Brian Fisher with Dan Dobler. We'll catch you guys tomorrow and hopefully what is a better day for baseball.
Exactly.
So thank you guys for listening. We'll be back tomorrow.